So some of the stuff is a little older, but also some new stuff. Example is that we all know and heard that San Diego Comic Con has been canceled for this year officially. And Sir Jazio, who had tickets, has been able to transfer his tickets to 2021. So that's the good news. Gamescom, the one that's in Cologne, Germany in August, is going to go all digital. That'd be kind of cool because I never actually got a chance to watch them. I thought about going there actually this year because there's a potential that my youngest daughter and her husband were going to move to Warsaw, Poland. Now we'd go do this trip. So guess what? Maybe it was good. Maybe God knew what was happening in hand. And we also know that E3 tweeted the wrong what? Oh. I have my button here for my stream deck. I thought I had the right tweet. I guess I didn't. Okay. What did I tweet? Oh, crap. Hang on, man. Let me go to my stream deck here. Oh, the WoW special with Got Fuzz. Oh, yeah. So that's why you got it. Never mind. Let me go do this, okay, at 6 p.m. Oh, my goodness. I'm sorry, Got Fuzz, to call you out like that.
Oopsie.
There you go. There you go. There you go. I was like, hey, you're late or you're early. Yeah. Anyway, so, and E3's been canceled, but the PC gaming show is always happens around E3. They say they're still going to do their show virtually on June the 6th, Saturday. They didn't say what time, but that's still kind of cool. So for me as a fan who would like to have seen these, but didn't want to fly or would like to fly, these all virtual stuff pretty cool. Fallout 76 is out now and live since April 14th. I got a chance to play a little bit the other day, and I'm like, oh, NPC. So far, it looks pretty cool. I was checking out the actual scenery, wondering whether or not they actually improved the search of the engine itself. I don't know. Have you guys played Fallout 76, or are you going to play Fallout 76?
Nope.
Okay.
I've got it, and I reinstalled it, but I haven't gone in the game yet. But it looks promising.
Yeah. Well, if you
don't want to hold, I'm not going to hold my breath. But
well, I mean, I agree. For those who had already bought it, the expansion is free. So why not go in? You're not giving them any more money by doing what is already free anyways. So I literally just I got it on Steam, but I'm also using the Bethesda launcher. It updated with Wastelanders and is now live. And I made a new character. I came out and I almost immediately ran into 2 NPCs. So it's not just added on areas. You actually literally at the beginning of the game do get to meet NPCs for the first time. So that's kind of cool.
It's way better.
Final Fantasy XIV is upcoming patch 5.3 Reflections in Crystal is allowing for flying now in all areas, not just the expansion. And another Nier inspired raid called the Puppet Spunker. Now, my son and his friends who love Final Fantasy XIV, I'm sure, are totally ecstatic. Wait, who is free? Ken is free. What? Tell Sam to turn on that blue moonlight.
It's too bright and it's too hot.
Too bright. Wait, what's going on? Shadowlands. Yeah, okay. All right. Riot, by the way, of course, you all know is League of Legends. Now they are becoming Valorant. Okay, and that's going to be the hot new game of the season. Well, they also made an acquisition of Hypixel Studios, maker of a game called Hytale. Just makes you wonder what is up with Riot and what's going to happen with them. Are they turning into the new big game publishing studio like we used to see from BioWare, Bethesda, and Blizzard? No, any thoughts on those guys on that?
Aren't they owned by partially owned by a Chinese company though?
Yeah, they are. I wasn't gonna mention that, but yeah.
Yeah, then
in Hong Kong too.
Yeah, I wouldn't hold my breath.
You took my comment.
I
was like, aren't they? Yeah.
So I got the beta key. I played it on Wednesday with my 2 of my daughters, one son-in-law and his dad, and it was a lot of fun. We were 2 for 4 the matches. What's interesting, my oldest daughter said, "Yeah, I played the alpha." I'm like, what? Because she has a friend who works for Riot. So okay.
Oh, that's right.
It's kind of cool. That's it was closed alpha. Last thing on the list here of things was for those people who are concerned about what's going to happen with WoW and wondering if WoW Classic is going to do anything. Well, they actually hired former EverQuest boss Holly Longdale. So that's interesting considering the fact that WoW Classic is a remake, or not remake, but it's nothing new content wise per se. But to bring her on board shows a commitment from Blizzard to do more on that. So yeah, kind of interesting.
I didn't see that coming, to be
Right.
honest with you.
Well, no one did. That's yeah. All right. So on to our escort quest. Did our dailies. Always gotta do those. They're called writs in Elder Scrolls Online, especially when it comes to the crafting stuff. All right. We're going to escort you to safety here, okay? So don't get too over excited. Wait, what? Why is the Asian's video quality getting pixelated at times? I feel like his should be the best.
It should be.
God fuzz. What?
Dang it!
I tried not
I was
to-
about to say
I tried not
Alan,
to
but of
use-
course it'd be good.
Oh my word. Okay. Anyways, Blue Protocol. Blue Protocol. Actually, I know Solomon's excited about coming up because they're doing a beta. But apparently, the beta was so popular. Okay, it broke the servers or crushed the servers. I'm not sure if you had this on one of your shows. I know I watched all your shows. Doesn't mean I remember everything.
There was a lot this week.
Did you mention? I mean, Blue Protocol. What are your thoughts about this Blue Protocol and the servers being crushed? I know you want to play it.
It looked actually a lot better than I expected. I guess it's because I kind of have low standards or low expectations when it comes to cell shading games. But for what it's worth, from all the live streams that I saw of the beta itself, I was genuinely impressed. Like maybe it's because like cell shading today is a lot better than what cell shading was back when, say, like the first Borderlands games came out, which was, how long ago was that? Like 8 years ago or 9 years ago, I think.
Wow.
Yeah.
So maybe it's because they're just gotten a lot better visually and quality wise. Maybe or maybe it's just because there seems to be much more of a demand for JRPG type of or MMORPGs out there that doesn't really exist. They do, but on a much smaller scale. And I think Blue Protocol definitely will be able to fill in that need or the want or void, whatever you want to call it, that so much people within the JRPG and MMO fans so want right now. So
Okay. What about you, Sajazio? What are you in knowledge about Blue Protocol?
Just what we've talked about in general during the past episodes, but I agree that there's something really neat about it that has me a little more than just a little bit excited to try it out. It definitely looks amazing. A lot better than what I thought it was going to initially when I saw the early little clips that they'd put out. Yeah, and I like the art style, but I'm kind of waiting to see more, kind of like we are with some of the other games.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
Well, the other thing, if I recall, this beta is only in Japan right now, so it's not a worldwide. Even though nowadays, I mean, you listen to all these commercials for these VPNs. They're like, "Hey, protect yourself, make sure you're taken care of, so no one hacks you." But by the way, you can go to other places in the world because the other places in the world don't know you're actually coming to America. I'm like, oh, wait, what? Okay. So I suppose if you wanted to, you could play the Japanese beta for Blue Protocol if you got it from the United States. But that means you have to get it. So
I mean, I may or may not have done that with NordVPN and Lost Ark. Just saying. It may
well,
have.
it's in their advertisements. It's in their actual advertisements.
Yeah, they shouldn't put that in there.
Well,
There's
I mean, I'm thinking like
there's a lawsuit.
their lawyers
waiting
must have. Yeah, well, that's what I thought. But their lawyers must have looked at it going, yes, you
did
say
they
you found a
though?
workaround. I don't know. All right. So next up is World of Warcraft. Shadowlands is coming out at some point. Got to see how things is going to be August. I don't know. If it is August, then
Mm,
who do I pick? New World or World of Warcraft? Might be New World. But anyways, this whole thing that Godfather is pointing out, 7 hours to level in Shadowlands. 7 hours of content? Thoughts, Shazio, Mr. WoW guy yourself?
I don't like it. Uh, we had well, it was a pretty brief conversation, you and I and Fuzz, about it. Uh, I could see now. We do have to keep in mind, as it was said, especially got Fuzz and I were mentioning. We know that there are ways, if you know what you're doing, and you've got your full set of heirlooms, which give you bonuses to experience
Yeah.
made from creatures and quests. If
Yep,
you've got
true.
your potions, they have potions that you can purchase that give you even more of a bonus to experience from killing mobs as well as turning in quests. Just that alone, and knowing areas where you can go grind, you can level really fast. So there are people that do that. Now, the problem that I have with that is the changes that they're making with the game right now, with crunching it down to a max level 120 is going to be turned into a 50, and then you'll
Right.
travel 50 to 60 in Shadowlands, which sounded amazing to me. Because what they're doing is they're taking it, okay, the first 10 levels are going to be in your little starting area, and then you're going to, which you can choose to either do the initial starting areas, or you can choose to do the starting area that they've just created for you. Which of course is what I was wanting to do. And then from 10 until 50, you were going to be able to pick which expansion you wanted to level through. And in that way, get the full story, or theoretically, I'll put bunny ears there,
Right.
get the full story of that expansion. And that sounded amazing to me, being a person that loves lore and loves the story of the game and wants to play through a story. That's the enjoyment of leveling for me, is not just getting new gear and getting new pets, new mounts, and all that kind of stuff, but it's playing through the story, whether you're doing it solo or with a group of friends. It's a blast. But with it being such a fast, that this guy can do it in 7 hours, which, mind you, like I said, the average player or a person coming back after several years of not playing are not going to be able to do that. It's probably
Right.
going to be double that. But even at that rate, even at 14 hours, I just don't see how you can play through the whole story of an expansion, whether it's the Burning Crusade or Cataclysm or Battle for Azeroth. God help you if you really want to go through that one. But anyway, you know, my thing was, I was going to go through Wrath of the Lich King from 10 to 50 and play through the whole story. And
Ooh.
I thought that you would have enough time to do that. But if it's 7 hours, if that guy can do it in 7 hours, I can definitely do it in 7 hours. I have all the heirlooms. I know the potions to use and all that.
Okay.
I don't think you're even going to complete all the zones in that expansion in that time. I think you
Or
may
all the
do
side
like,
quest, right?
yeah, you're probably just going to do like 2 zones out of the 5, or whatever that expansion had. And you're not even going to get through the full story before you're, oh, I'm at 50, dump all those quests, moving on
Yeah.
to Shadowlands. And to me, that just, it ruins what their goal was. Their goal was to be able to have that time to invest completely in an expansion before moving on. And yeah, I don't think you're going to do that. I think you're going to get, like I said, maybe 2 zones in, and then you're going to be 50, and it's going to be time to go to Shadowlands. And so you're not even going to
Yeah.
finish any of those storylines. You have no clue. You're never going to get to ICC or Ice Crown Citadel, sorry, to fight Arthas, and if you do Wrath of the Lich King content, because you're going to still be in Howling Fjord or Borean Tundra whenever you reach 50. And it's just,
Mhm.
to me, it seems like they need to lengthen it out a bit. I think I understand that what they're trying to do is help get new players into the game because it was super daunting. 120 levels and there's all these expansions and I have no idea what to do, dude. I'm not even going to start playing. No, I don't want to play.
Right.
And
Yep.
I'm like, no, it's okay, dude. Just I'll help you level. No, dude, that game's been out for 15 years. There's too much stuff. I'm confused. I don't know what to do, where to start. And the changes that they were making for Shadowlands, I had friends at church and online in Discord groups and on Twitter that were actually finally considering coming and playing with us because they're like, oh, I can do 50 levels or 60 levels, when that comes out. Oh, you mean I only have to go through one expansion and then I get to go do the new content for 10 levels? Awesome. That's doable. It sounds doable. But
Yeah,
it sounds like
Chris says he raises his hand. That was me.
yeah.
The overwhelmingness.
Now it looks like they're just in the mode of we're going to get the new players to max level as quickly as we can because the only thing that matters in this game is in-game content.
Yeah.
And I think that's a mistake.
Yeah.
That's
I
really
see
a
that
mistake.
point. All right, Solomon, what are your thoughts, about this?
As a gamer, or ditto. I get why they're doing it, but I'm a masochist when it comes to these things. I like grindy games. Like I really wish it would take me a month or two to get to level 50. That's how I feel. And that's actually pretty grindy for a lot of people's standards. But it's just then what's this is the set of it that Sir Jaziel said earlier. Then what's the point? What's the point of having levels if you could do it in 7 hours? I mean,
right.
And it's just like, it's like it actually used to mean something. Like back when Vanilla WoW was out, or at least when I played right after Burning Crusade was released, and even then it was like it was a pretty big deal to reach max level. Not a huge deal, but still a deal. But nowadays it's just like
right.
Yeah. But either way, I mean, I still think that they're on the right direction regardless, because overall, package-wise, not just the leveling, 7-hour thing, like overall, they seem to be really making things for the better. And yeah, I can't blame them, and I think it's a really smart and rational idea to try to get more people to play because, like I said, like in our last podcast that we talked about, there are pros and cons to marketing your product towards your most loyal fan base, and I get that. But again, Harley Davidson's been doing that for years, and they're hemorrhaging money. So I get why Blizzard is doing that, or maybe Activision, or maybe they both are doing that. I don't know, but I get it.
I mean, that's a good point. So Chris says when he first started playing WoW, he was confused where to start, what to do. I get that. Even me jumping back in again, I'm like, where do I start? Do I continue on where I was at? I just started all over again.
It's one of the.
Do that.
It's my opinion. It's my opinion, but it's one of the more difficult games to return to after a couple of expansions, and it's one of the easiest MMOs to get lost and not know, with all the major changes they make with every expansion, what in the world is going on. Especially, I remember after taking that break through Cataclysm, coming back and missed Pandaria, and I was like, wait, what? What's all this? But I mean, it's not all doom and gloom. They have made some awesome changes that I definitely applaud, and I don't mind the level crunch, but I really think they're going at it the wrong way. Okay, we need to get people to play together. Most of the people that are inviting these new players are going to be established players like us three in here and some of the people in your guys' chats. We have max level characters, and we're going to be inviting our friends, our church mates, our classmates, or mates from work, and they're going to come in, and we're going to want. The only way we can play together with them is to get them max level like us, or to start a brand new character. And some of us are tired of making brand new characters because we've got 2 servers full of 120s right now, which is right here. I don't really want to start another character.
Not me.
The last one I did was for the Calvinist, Shadeless now.
Yeah.
And then he left a week later. So,
Elite.
Really, I think they need to look at this from a different angle. They want people to play together. They need to do something like, I'm not saying rip off the game and do it exactly like them. I'm saying take this idea and run with it. Do something with it, like Guild Wars 2, where you can have a level 80 and you can have a brand spanking new character and they can travel together and go do stuff. And there's no problem. The game says, I recognize that there's level 1 and there's level 80 together. They're in this zone. I'm going to equalize everything out so that level 1 is powerful enough to travel with him, and he's downgraded a little bit, but the mobs are going to be equalized with those levels, and you can still run around, do quests, and kill mobs and everything without having that you died again struggle. I think it would be better for them to go that way, to look at a way to enable a level 1 and a level 50 or 60 now play together right from the get-go, without the 50 having to sacrifice a whole lot. Obviously, they're going to have to sacrifice a little bit, and without the level 1 feeling like theoretical third wheel, kind of feeling like, I don't belong here. I'm just holding you back from doing what you want to do, and I'm going to quit the game because I'm just, it would be better to go that way than to say we're going to make it to where you can just rush and get that level 1 to max level in an afternoon.
Yeah.
But
we'll see.
We'll see.
So Chris pointed out he wanted to do the story, but leveled too quick for it, and like it didn't make sense because I knew I can skip all this Burning Crusade stuff, but didn't want to. Wanted to keep the story going.
It's like that now. It's like that right now.
Yeah,
and it's going to get worse. It's going to get worse.
Yeah, when you speed level, you quickly skip out of it. So that's going to be interesting. So obviously, this is still in alpha beta, right? So we'll see what happens. I don't know what Blizzard's going to do by watching the 7-hour speed run, but it might ask them. So, anyways, you have
addressing the release date, or was that in the notes?
Is there a release date?
No, but a lot of people are speculating August. I think Got Fuzz thinks that too.
Which August? I'm thinking that would be typical to like others, but I'm like,
I love you, Got Fuzz, if you're still here. But I think that's being really optimistic, really super optimistic. I don't see that. I don't want to put money on it because, you got more money than me probably anyway. How about a plate of brownies or something, or cookies? I can do that. But I would think maybe November. It's definitely Q4, guys. There's no way it's going to come out in Q3.
Well, I mean, a lot is coming out from Blizzard, so it makes you wonder. But the big elephant in the ring is COVID-19. Amazon Games delayed New World because of COVID-19. They said, yeah, we're moving along, but they underestimated how much of the collaboration would exist between their dev team by being virtual, not being in the office. So similar can be said for probably Blizzard and WoW. Maybe, I mean, the bringing Holly in only helps WoW Classic. It wasn't about WoW retail. And Alan's saying, I would be careful eating any cookies from Ken. Who knows what the dosage could be?
Oh, those kind of cookies.
You realize, Alan, of course, if Got Fuzz and Judge Jazia were going to do a bet, it would be California branded, not Washington branded.
It's legal here too, brother.
I know, that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm like, what are you talking about? Okay, so all right, you have been escorted safely to your destination. Now we got to go do some delivery quests. Surprisingly, Lord of the Rings Online is now 13. So it's still out there, still making it. They keep doing expansions on this. There are those who really love that game. I played it when it first came out, but haven't touched it probably since the first year. So yeah. ZeniMax Online Studios, who currently does Elder Scrolls Online, it has been rumored to be working on another MMORPG. Well, they actually hired Colin Campbell as lead level designer. He was formerly with EA for Battlefront 2, Jedi Fallen Order, and Mass Effect Andromeda. We won't hold Andromeda against him.
Yes, we will.
So, so I'm curious. I mean, obviously, I don't know. I have not seen anything about what ZeniMax Online Studios is doing for an MMO. I can see if they're doing a Bethesda property. You might argue Dragon Age. I don't know. Mass Effect? Probably not.
Wait, this is different. This is different from Starfield.
That's the other thing I'm wondering about. Is that
Yes.
an MMORPG?
It's different.
Okay.
Because I don't think Starfield's an MMORPG, is it?
No, I if anything, I think it's just a regular, just sci-fi
Yeah,
RPG.
it's a new IP, but
Right.
yeah,
No,
that's why I'm
they
wondering.
said
I
it.
don't know.
They said it was a different IP.
The thing about ZeniMax Online Studios, I mean, again, if you understand the organizational structure, ZeniMax Media is the name of the holding company that owns ZeniMax Online Studios, Bethesda, id Software, some other names too. Even though everyone looks at Bethesda as being the name everyone looks at. Okay,
Right.
so I mean, and ESO has gotten better. It's still a beautiful game and heads up and down. They're coming out with their Skyrim edition coming up pretty soon. The opening quests are out there. I started doing it the other day, and I found myself in the underground area under Skyrim. I'm like, what? Okay,
It looks awesome though, dude.
yeah. So, but maybe one of you have heard about what possibly could be their next MMORPG they're working on. I've not. So,
Well,
I heard.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead, Solomon. No, you can go.
I was just gonna say really quick. I was gonna say after the success of oh my goodness, I'm blanking out on the name. The other RPG that the other studio did, that did Fallout New Vegas.
oh, the Outer Worlds.
Yeah, the Outer Worlds. I figured after the success of Outer Worlds, ZeniMax or at least Bethesda were like, oh crap, we gotta do something about this, guys. They killed it. We gotta start catching up because we're dropping the ball. But that's just my assertion. I don't know if they really said that, but I would wager.
That was a really good game. Again, this is speculation on my part as well as others. I keep hearing Dragon Age. The problem that I see with that, and the reason I keep going, raising my eyebrow, and going, well, that it would be incredibly too similar to Elder Scrolls Online.
Wait. Did I screw up? Dragon Age is
Bethesda, isn't it?
No, Dragon Age is
BioWare.
Oh, BioWare. BioWare.
My
I'm
bad.
sorry.
Yeah, my bad. No, Dragon Age is BioWare. They're Mass Effect and BioWare because they're working on the next, apparently next Dragon Age.
Hold
game.
on, let me look this up real
That's a
quick.
good point. So, what Bethesda owns?
Bethesda.
Well, Elder Scrolls, but they also own the the one where the Dishonored. You know?
Oh, I haven't heard of that in a while.
Dishonored 2 came out a couple years ago.
Yeah, 2 was meh,
Bethesda,
whatever.
Yeah, well, and 2 didn't really sell well. For some reason.
Oh,
I didn't think it was that.
So
It wasn't
Fallout,
that bad. It wasn't as good as the
Elder
first one.
Scrolls.
I think I know why, but I can't talk about it unless we get political, so I won't go there.
Oh, I wasn't going to go there, but you're
Oh.
right. I agree with you without talking about it.
Yeah.
That's true, and I think that did hurt sales. So I stand corrected. There is a reason, a legit reason why. I'm looking it up right now, but I had heard. It's been a couple of years ago, though, now that they were going to work on an MMO for Dragon Age, but that's BioWare. You're right.
Yep.
Yeah. Who, by the way, is Anthem. There might be another Anthem 2.0 coming out really fast. Who knows? But that's a different topic.
I know I'm a bit of a hypocrite because I said I wouldn't give Fallout 76 a second chance, but I'm willing to give Anthem a second chance. I'm sorry.
It's free.
I
already own it.
That's the thing. I don't own it. I don't own it.
There were some great ideas in Anthem, guys. I understand. I understand the complaints, and I share a lot of those complaints. And I know people hate when you say, "Oh, it looks promising," or "It had promising things in it that I think they could fix this."
Mm-hmm.
I think it's promising. I think they could fix Anthem if they just sit down and give it time, work on it. Don't rush it out the door again. That was a lot of the issue, was that they needed to push it out so fast because there's all these other battle royale games and other style games that were coming out at that time that they were like, dude, we've got to get this out now, because if we wait another year, there's going to be a 50 to 100 other games like this that people are going to be invested in, and they're going to have invested money into it, time into those other games, and they're not going to want to come try ours. And they're right. I mean, I don't think any of us can say that they're wrong, right? But
speaking, I mean, you got a good point about the effect of in games. But Borderlands 3 did an in-game overhaul. So there's a game that was everyone had anticipated being pretty good, and it kind of came and went really fast, it seems like, but now they have an in-game overhaul.
I love Borderlands 3, dude. I mean, I haven't got to the end yet, but what I've played so far, I've loved.
I've not finished it.
And I mean, as far as what you're saying about Wastelanders, I mean, that it sounds like they might have, like you've been saying, gone in the right direction, that they've improved the game. That was a major complaint that they addressed. Awesome. Thank you guys for listening to us. And you know, we've talked about this before. We've seen games literally come out of the grave, and not like an ugly brainy zombie, but shining. No Man's Sky, for example, another game I reinstalled and still haven't gone to play it, but I've been watching other streamers that were associated with Unashamed that have been streaming it, and it was already a beautiful looking game to begin with, but the replayability of it was just, well, it didn't exist. There was no replayability, and really there was nothing to keep you playing. And now there is. It's a beautiful game. They really, I give them guys kudos. And I do want to have more to say about 76 probably next week when we do the show. I'll go ahead and load it up. But as far as working on another MMO, I guess that's another thing we'll have to talk about next week, because I'm seeing games here that you could do that with, but
but will they? Star Wars. No, just kidding. So we will do more.
That'd be cool.
So first off, if you have already bought Fallout 76, the Wastelanders is free for you. Okay, you don't have to purchase one, and I did not purchase one. I'll need to prove it to you, because how can you prove something you didn't do? Okay, and they do have they're promising a roadmap soon, so that's kind of cool. They're teasing pets and legendary perks, so there's more coming for Fallout 76.
But I'm confused. Someone's asking you to prove that you have Fallout 76?
Alan, yesterday, on my stream on Thursday, yesterday when I was playing Fallout 76, they're like, "Oh, you bought a new copy." I go, "No, I didn't. You know, it's free." He goes, "Prove it." How can you prove a negative? How can I prove I didn't buy a game I didn't buy? So stupid. Okay, so. And Godfather is waiting for this GMA news for their new church.
Stop falling for the bait.
No. Yeah, you guys
they're drinking more of this than we are.
Chris says he also bought me one. So yeah, we'll do more Fallout 76. Go play it again, because you already got it.
Yeah.
I'm playing it every night. I'm having some fun with it. All right. So we delivered all of our requests. Not yet. So we have 2 more deliveries to make. So Jaziel, what notes do you have for this week?
Well, we covered, because I did want to talk about speculation on the release of Shadowlands, but we've covered that. And then Campbell coming over with that is interesting. And I'm looking some stuff up right now, but I can't really say anything, so I'm looking at it right now to just see if there's any hints. No, I you know what, I am looking forward to. I didn't realize how close it was to the expansion DLC for Elder Scrolls Online. I didn't realize it's only like 3 weeks away. So
what?
I'm Greymore.
That's right. Great.
Yeah, it's
That's
a
right.
May, and I've been so
No
like,
delay, I heard. So yeah.
yeah, with all the like, I'm sure every one of you guys and maybe gals that are watching right now can relate to this, but man, this COVID stuff is just like time is working in a very strange way that it would take Einstein to explain it to me. But with all the homeschooling my kids and the chaos of everything's closed and it's just been so weird. And I was still in that pre-virus mindset of, oh, that's a couple of months away. Oh, this is a
Right.
couple of
No.
months away. And then I got to looking at my calendar and I went, oh, holy cow, dude! Like I haven't realized how much time has passed. I did want to give my kudos since we do go up on YouTube, and maybe one of the people that were involved with it see this video. And if you're one of them that was involved with San Diego Comic Con, and even more so the decision to either refund or give you tickets for next year's show. Thank you guys. Seriously, like I was one of them. I was looking forward to it. I was talking to Kenneth, and definitely, I don't know how much I mentioned it a couple times to Solomon, but I love that show. I just love it. There's so much cool stuff there, and I'm so bummed out that they had to cancel it, but I understand. And I definitely appreciate what they've done for us, and not just refunding, but giving us the opportunity to because it is such a, these guys know, it is really hard to get tickets to that show. And
Right.
if they just refunded everybody, then you go back into that pool of, well, if you get your tickets in that first 15 minutes
That's right.
after we start selling, then you'll
Yep.
get your tickets. There was that potential that you're going to not get tickets.
That's a good point.
Because I've missed a few shows because it's hard. So thank you guys for offering to make it for next year. I have a few friends that were going to ride down with me. Actually, one of them was my ride down there, and we all did that. So we will see you next year. Thank you for doing that.
No, that's a good point. I mean, it's like one of the things like why wouldn't they do this? But it's a good point because Emerald City Comic Con did the same thing, but it's not hard. It doesn't sell out like the San Diego Comic Con does.
Right.
So Gappa's like, what is today? What for him it's either raid night or not raid night. That's how he tells what day
I
of the
can
week it
understand.
is.
Yeah.
All right.
I know what day it is I mean, this isn't game related, but is this a day where we pick up the kids' food, the lunches from the school, or is this the day they do their Zoom classes? Because they do their Zoom classes on Tuesday and Thursday, and we pick up food from the school on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So that's how I've been telling.
Yeah, me, it's either a day off or not. So Solomon, what notes do you have except for moo? That's what the cow says.
It's a good one, though.
That's what I get for allowing the document to be opened and edited by you guys.
Just wait till next week. I got something special.
I trusted. Behind the scenes, people, I have a document that I made for the notes, and I opened it up for editing, and it's Solomon's editing it. So Adam, Solomon, sorry, you have any notes for the day this week?
No, well, it seems to be a lot of anniversaries. You mentioned one earlier. Lord of the Rings is turning 13.
Yep.
Guild Wars 1 is turning 15.
That's
and
right.
What's it called? World of Tanks. Technically, its anniversary
World
isn't
of
until
Tanks.
August, but they've already started their
10 years.
they've already started their anniversary this week. And every week that you log in, or every month or whatever, up until August, you'll get a bunch of goodies here and there just for logging in and other celebratory celebrations.
And I'm not really playing it right now, but I will be logging in every week to get my goodies.
It's
For World of Tanks.
Yeah,
they must be doing
Yeah,
something
I've been
right, so
World of Warships logging in, but I should do that too. Apparently, I almost called you Alan, so Gappa's like, he called you Alan, and Alan's like, it's because I'm in his head. Skyfuzz and in his heart. Alan's like, he is
Aw.
mad. He is mad I exposed him for buying 3 copies of Fallout 76. I didn't, but it does make you wonder why, if I get frustrated with somebody, I immediately think of Alan. All right, Solomon,
He
anything
just
else?
walks around his house like Alvin and the Chipmunks, but instead of Alvin,
Alvin!
he screams
That's
out
right.
Alan.
Alan! Anything else, Solomon?
No, not really. I went daily last week. I came out with an episode every single day for the past 5 days. And I'm looking at my notes. There's just so much to go over. Nothing really sticks out, so that's about it.
Right. All right, so if you're not watching, go to Whiskey and RPGs on YouTube to watch Solomon's daily now blurbs about MMOs and RPGs. They're really good. They allow for me to listen and see what's going on without having to read the articles themselves. So do that.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Collective, I will talk about Fallout 76 at the end in our after the show because we had talked about it earlier. Now we finished our delivery quest. Now we're into our storyline quest. Okay. Now, what's interesting was seeing that 7-hour guy playing WoW in beta alpha, the Shadowlands, right? And it made me think, for you guys, your opinions of what you think. Would you rather play an easy game or a steep learning curve MMO? So I'm gonna go with you first.
It depends. Like, obviously, I'd go for the latter with something that has a learning curve. You know, because again, Black Desert is definitely one of them. I would argue. Man, that's a good question though.
I said steep, not grinding, because I think of EVE Online as being a very steep learning curve. And that to me is the extreme. That's beyond. That to me is beyond WoW Classic or even some of the older MMOs. And nowadays, with a lot of the MMOs being so easy to get through, it's like, you're leveling in 2 hours and you're done. I mean,
that's I would still say that's debatable just because of the sheer amount of stuff that you could do in the game. You could get into horse breeding, you could train your character for different fights, you could cook, you do alchemy, you could do ship sailing, you could do trading, you could do what else? There's it's in terms of sandbox games, like it's more sandbox like than a lot of sandbox RPGs that are non-online games out there too. So I mean, again, I've been playing this game for almost 2 years, and there's still a bunch of stuff that I'm still learning about the game. Not because of its grindiness, but because of all the different things that you could do in the game. I recently picked up Imperial Cooking. I mean, I heard about it, didn't really know much about it, but and it's just like, oh, there's another thing that you could do with cooking, and it's just like, it's so crazy. But typically, I don't really play casual games that much anymore, and if I do, it's going to be like the one mobile title that I do play, which is Epic 7. And even then you can kind of get hardcore into it, but again, it doesn't really require a steep learning curve unless you're used to playing those type of games. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's because I've been playing so many games where they kind of hold your hand a little too much for the past, I'd say, decade for so long that after a while it just kind of gets boring after a while, and it's just like, yeah, let's put out a game where you actually have to learn how to play it, not necessarily in a skill type of sense, not like learning how to do the best combo, say like in a Street Fighter game, because I think that's a bit different, but not really. But within the realms of MMOs and RPGs, regardless of whether if they're on or offline, yeah, I think learning how to, craft things together that you don't necessarily that aren't necessarily intuitive, I think definitely makes the game more interesting. It can be frustrating, I will admit, but again, like I said, I think for playing games that just hold your hand a little too close for so long, is just I don't really mind it anymore.
Yeah, I know that when I was playing WoW Classic, I wanted to recapture the magic, and my days these days, even though they haven't really changed much since then, 'cause I still have work and play, but I do other games. I found the fact that my water kept dying all the time and to go running back from the respawn points. I'm like, okay, so my time messes with me a little bit. I don't want it too easy, but I also don't want it too hard. So, Jazia, what are your thoughts?
just off the cuff, I agree with what Solomon was saying in the way that if in difficult, you aren't necessarily meaning grindy, but that there are so many things to do that it's easy to get overwhelmed at first. I don't mind that at all, because there's something to be said about the discoverability of those abilities and working on those
Yeah.
things and learning and getting to a point where you look back and see how silly you were at the beginning and how much you've learned, that there's something to, almost, I mean, I know it's not real life, but almost be proud of, like benchmarks that you've got to, oh, I'm more knowledgeable of the game than I was, a month ago or whatever.
Right.
And I love that there are so many different things. Like I'm playing Elder Scrolls Online right now, almost exclusively, not quite, but almost. And there's so many different things that you can do. And, maybe one day you don't feel like questing. You just want to go, work on your writs and sorry, my dog's barking at a cat or something, apparently. You, can just go fishing if you want, or you can go work on just gathering stuff if you really want to veg out. Just turn on some music and go gather stuff for working on your professions later. But knowing that when I first started playing the game, there are all these different aspects of the game, and I was like, what am I supposed to do? Because it's not. It doesn't hold your hand as much as some of the other games do. Like Solomon was saying, and at first that's very frustrating, and I know that it does turn a lot of folks away, unfortunately, because they get in there and they're like, okay, what am I supposed to do? I made my character, he looks cool, or she, but what do I do?
Yeah.
But
No, that's just, yeah, fair enough.
yeah, I feel good that there's things that I was confused about in the game, and I purposefully didn't go and like Google them. I tried to figure them out for myself. And when I figured them out, I just felt so epic because I figured something out on my own, and it felt just as good as completing a quest or beating a world boss or completing a dungeon. To me, being able to figure out how to, again, Solomon said something and it reminded me of doing like the enchanting and stuff in ESO, where you put the different things together, and if you're not Googling it or going to one of the websites, there's no indicator of what you're getting ready to create until you create it. And I love that, but it can get frustrating. I get it.
Yeah. Well, and it's funny you mentioned that because both of you guys had brought up very good points. When I first saw the question about leveling pretty fast, I'm like, that's sad, okay? And we a steep learning curve like EVE Online, I'm like, well, that's a little too hard. WoW Classic, because there was no real tutorial, you had to figure it all out. So they're trying to fix that with Shadowlands. I like what you said about the variety. The variety, I think, is what holds people better, or keeping a long-term game, not just a 7-hour in and out, but the long term, the discoverability, the ability to see different things. It's not the hardness of it. We don't want to say we don't want to level too fast. We don't want to level too slow. There's a balance there, but just be able to have a game we can get back to now and then. I was playing some New World today, and what was relaxing was all I do was I was just discovering, exploring. There was no in game yet. There was no like my company was doing this and this, and I'm behind the level curve. I was just having fun, and that's the relaxing part of it. I've also experienced a part of feeling like I'm so far behind in my Final Fantasy XIV for my free company to get up to where my rest of they were at because they were raiding. I'm like, and I wasn't enjoying myself. So I was trying to push myself to get too fast instead of just relaxing. So ultimately, it's going to boil down to you, me, how we do our games and whatnot. All right, we have some. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I said ditto.
I like some comments in chat here. Okay. Back when I was saying I get frustrated, I think of Alan. Apparently, he said the same. It's the same thing he sees when you see a guy drunk and passed out. He thinks of Ken. I think that's cool.
What?
Apparently, Collective says if Solomon's taste in games is anywhere close to his taste in music, he's going to pass. But the problem is that Sir Jaziel and Solomon are pretty much together. All right, Collective says as someone with a full-time job and half and a half plus kids, full-time job and a half plus kids, it's hard for me to invest in steep learning curve games since usually steep learning curve games means time investment. Very true.
True.
Yoshi says, yay, finally back home. Alan says, no one wants to hold Solomon's hand, too moist. Collective says, I know. Collective says, I'd hold Solomon's hand as long as he agreed to not play music. What? Okay,
I love his
so,
music. I'll hold his hand in, listen to the heavy
yeah,
music.
no. So Alan says, Collective, he would sing Wrecking Ball a cappella to you the whole time. So, Alan, there's sometimes I wish people would not put visual images in my mind. Thanks for destroying my mind.
That video was awful.
Yeah. So, I mean, playing Dark Age of Camelot back in the day, it was a grind and it was hard. And you had to be in a group and you had to be very diligent about basically going to Salisbury's Plain if you're over in the Albion area. And it was a slow trot. And I remember people saying, you can never solo this. And one guy, a year or two in and me playing it, I heard solo the game. And like, oh, okay, because hard. It is hard because that game was meant to be grouping. World of Warcraft came out. You can solo World of Warcraft, but it still requires a kind of a collective grouping of things. Nowadays, that's why the whole Shadowlands being 7 hours. I get it for people who have short attention spans, and a lot of the people who are millennials and younger have short attention spans. But then again, people of my age, boomers and Gen X, we have families, and we don't necessarily have the time to invest like we used to do back in the day. So it's that sweet spot of where those people are, maybe right now, and maybe from 8th grade through college that have or maybe 8th grade beyond that, no time commitments really that cause them from not grinding. Because I mean, me taking a Saturday to grind a 8-hour raid in Dark Age of Camelot was not a big deal. Today, that's a long time. All right. Alan says, ugh, I don't know why people comment on my stream. It would be better if everyone just ignored what I did.
Uh,
Oh, he says, he's asking me, why am I never grumpy? Ha, ha, ha. When are you not grumpy, Ken? All right. The last thing was about Class Quest, because I saw this thing about the posting about Shadowlands and getting latest alphas has dark skinned human options, new customization, in zone selection. I mean, Godfuzz mentioned the same thing about the fact that the character creation in World of Warcraft has gotten a lot better and more diverse and more like other games. It's like you can put things onto your orc to have like, was it like piercings or scars or whatever, right? So I'm just kind of curious about you guys and thinking about when it comes to customization of games. When it comes to character customization, my friend Not Fred, he loves Chapters Online. He has made over 150 different characters in that game. He loves crafting them a certain color of the uniform and the hair and the size, just to be a whatever it is, a boxing champion, or even when it comes to the old Thundar the Barbarian comic cartoon. So I don't know. What do you think, Solomon? Are you a big person who likes to create take hours on end, making your character look just right before entering the game?
Unfortunately, yes. There's actually a meme going around how, especially in Black Desert Online, like the character creation alone in that game, you could get lost like literally hours, like tweaking and just customizing every single detail of your character. And yeah, it's I think there's a oh wow, Alan followed me. Dang it. All right, looks like I'm gonna have to end the stream. No. What was I saying? Yeah, the character aspect of create or of an MMO is the reason why you play an RPG, regardless of whether if it's online or not. part of the features of an RPG is the character customization. I think that's probably the reason why, not the reason why, but one of the biggest reasons why we play those games is because there's a certain element that you could create that allows yourself to be immersed in the world that you are
True.
supposed to go in. And of course, yeah, there
Like
are
Avatar.
people, exactly, yeah. And there are people who take it a little too far. Let's be honest. Like we said earlier, or somebody mentioned it earlier. It's me. I mean, it's fairly older, but not many people still know about it. Which is the acronym GIRL, which is guy in real life. And
Yeah.
let's face it, there's a lot of guys out there that, and they only create female tunes. And if that's what you want to play, that's how you want to play, then that's how you want to play. I'm not knocking on that. But there is a few out there, like for example, Terra Online and other Eastern games that have like lolly characters, and they spend way too much time decorating and customizing their little girly tunes, I feel like. But I kind of don't want to go there for the purposes of this video. And so yeah, there is a bit of that going on, but other than that, then yeah, I think it's really it's definitely something that I look forward to as well. And wouldn't be an RPG otherwise, in my opinion. So
Okay. So Jazil, about you?
I love having a lot of customization. I don't think I spend as much time as the average person doing it. I'm mostly concerned about height and weight and physical build, like muscular or tubby or whatever. I think it does help with the immersion as well as just being able to be creative with your character and make it your own. But at the end of the day, I usually end up feeling really silly if I spend terribly much time with it because it ends up all being covered up by armor. And I sit there and spend 2 hours, creating my character with, just the right amount of arm hair or whatever. Some of the games are like that, but not all of them. But even like in World of Warcraft, where you can put tattoos on certain ones and make the tattoos a certain color or whatever, and the earrings and all that, you end up not ever seeing those because they're covered up by your armor. And so it ends up being like,
Yeah.
why did I spend all that time with that character? But I guess it's cool because you know what's there. So and it's for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Partially, right?
it does. I think it does need to be in there. And World of Warcraft in the past, their character creation was pretty limited. Like it was one of the worst ones out there, I think, for a long time. I know Elder Scrolls and Final Fantasy and Black Desert Online, all three of those definitely have really, really cool ones that you can do a lot of customization with. And it's just fun.
Yeah.
It's fun. But the one that I really enjoyed, I'm gonna go with you and not Fred. With man, I remember spending hours and hours every day just making new characters on City of Heroes. That was so fun.
Yeah, I don't do as much. When I did my Fallout 76 new character, I played by 10 minutes. I do
Mhm.
remember spending more time on my SWTOR character to make more like me, a pudgy Jedi. But the thing is, always gets me the fact that I'm, like you said, it's covered up by armor and I'm not seeing from the back. Now, I'm not actually seeing my face, except for in cutscenes, as you can see yourself,
Mhm.
and you know that other people are looking at you. So, and I also know people say, well, if I'm going to play hours online in a game, I want something good to look at. And so they're
Mhm.
like, I make a female character to do that. Now, Collective made a comment that says that maybe in Age of Camelot, more people make girl characters because the hitboxes were smaller. You know, he says
Mhm.
he hates gnomes in WoW. Who else hates gnomes? Anyways,
Mm.
a gnome mage behind a hill is harder to see to target than a human.
I hate gnomes, but I love
I
gnome
didn't realize
football.
hitboxes. That's a good point about size. I mean, I get me wrong. I love the fact that they do allow customization for those people who want to make the character look like them, or at least the better side of what they would like to look like for themselves, knowing that's the character that's going to be seen by everybody else in the game, in the cutscenes, and you're playing the game. I get that, but I'm also, for me, I'm like, okay, I don't need to spend time on that. I just don't care. It's just not a big deal. Like getting every single pet, every single mount. I'm like, I'm glad it's there for people who love that, just not for me. It's okay. I mean, I looked at my friend Not Fred's. He has laptop over here, and we went through his account. We saw all his characters and the dates to playing the game.
Hmm.
Like it says, I make orc females in WoW because the male orc is horrible looking. The orc racial traits are too good to pass up. Yeah, that makes sense. All right, that was our end of our class quest, talking about our classes. We will have a world event. Right now, the only world event on the calendar is for August 25th, when New World comes out. We will have a pre-launch party. That is still months away, so we have time. But put it on your calendars today. If you already put it on for May 26th, move it to August 25th. They said that's going to be the release. We'll see. We have not any plans for any other like release, like say Shadowlands or I don't know Blue Protocol, but who knows? We'll see what happens. Okay, so all right, where can we find you, and what MMOs are you playing right now, Solomon?
It's been the same since the past 2 months we've been doing this.
And I'm sure all of our new viewers will want to know what you talked about in the past.
It's this right here, Black Desert Online.
Video, yep. He's still doing his fishing while he's talking to us.
Yep, killing 2 birds with 1 stone.
Yeah.
Yeah, just Black Desert Online. Occasionally, I still play Star Wars: The Old Republic, although I'm kind of getting. I mean, it's just the content isn't really rolling out as much as they should, or could be doing. I mean, because of the whole COVID thing. But well, I actually am compiling a list of MMOs that I think people should know about and be.
Oh yeah, good.
Be on the lookout for that. So while compiling this list, it actually made me want to go play them, or at least a few of them. So be on the lookout. You can always find me at Whiskey and RPGs on YouTube. That's my primary way to find me right now. Again, you could follow me at twitch.tv/SolomonSK, but I don't really. I mean, I do plan on streaming more, but they're going to be very similar to something like this. I'm not going to really play a whole lot of games. But yeah, other than that, it's just mainly Whiskey and RPGs.
All right. And of course, if you happen to ever hit the Squirrel Squad, you'll find that they will immediately toss Solomon out because he's a raccoon lover. Apparently, versus squirrel, I guess, Not sure why they're hating any of those type of mammals. But anyways. All right, so Jaziel, where can we find you? What MMOs are you playing?
At Sir Jaziel on Twitch and Twitter. I am in other places, but those are pretty much the ones that I pay attention to. I'm only streaming on Saturdays and Sundays right now, officially. I am trying to figure out a way to stream at least 2 additional days to that per week, but it's just I thought I was going to have more time with the kids being home and us having nowhere to go, but as it turns out, I actually have less time to do stuff like streaming.
Interesting.
But right now, as far as what I'm playing, is still the main game I'm playing is the Elder Scrolls Online. I do occasionally jump in and do something for about maybe 30 minutes to an hour on Guild Wars 2. And I've actually started playing quite a bit of City Skylines again. They just had another DLC that dropped a couple weeks ago that I picked up, and just been having fun with that. But that's about all I'm doing right now.
Any updates on the Master's Medal?
Yeah, I'm working on that. I guess I'll give a little behind the scenes of what I'm doing. Due to the complicated nature of my life, I know that there are weeks where I will not be able to do it. So what I'm doing right now is I'm actually recording 6 episodes all back to back, and then I'll be that many ahead. That way, if I need to take a week or 2 off for whatever reason, there will still be an episode. So they will still come out every week. So right now I'm about halfway through that. So once I get those, I don't know why I picked 6 as the number, but I probably should have done 7. That's a better number. But once I get those done, I'm going to start shooting them out. So it's going to be pretty soon.
All right, cool.
Trademark.
Looking forward to that. All right. So obviously you're finding me right now on Twitch. So I'm Kenneth, and I play a variety of MMOs. Fallout 76, if you call that. I was playing it. I was playing some New World. I can say I'm playing it, even though I can't tell you all about it. Been playing Elder Scrolls Online. And of course, every Tuesday, my friend Nafrik is on. We play Champions Online. There's a new game that my son and my kids are playing that's not an MMO, but it's a space where you build spaceships or whatnot. Avorian. It came out in March, and he was interested in that. So maybe my friend Nafred will be actually wanting and willing to try a different game for once. So we'll see how that goes. Okay, so thanks everyone for being here. We appreciate everyone. Love you all for coming out, hanging out, and giving us some feedback and chatting with us. We will be back again next Saturday at 6 p.m. Pacific time for another Whiskey, MMOs, and more. Bye bye, everyone.